is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Boardroom Podcast. Warrior up, you stay calm, change lives, and have business on your terms. Now, me and Tikis were having a sidebar convo thinking about, like, what do we really want to dive into? And there's a range of different things. But one of the biggest things I think that we're seeing people struggle with the most is really like marketing and lead generation, right? The accounts that are absolutely crushing it with Charlie, like, crushing it, they have good marketers, like generating leads. Their lead generation is not a problem, and they have marketing and sales minded founders that are driving the ship for demand generation, right? And the accounts that struggle don't really have that, all right? And we're just talking about, like, because some of the accounts that are absolutely just crushing it are ones that are mass market, like the fitness accounts. People that are like high ticket online fitness businesses are like absolutely raking it in with Charlie.
Yeah, it's like,
what is the difference between these guys and the ones that are like really struggling? And, you know, a couple of them, the biggest difference is they have us helping them with their marketing. Like, if I'm being completely honest, like
we handle everything front to back. You know
so
what I mean?
they've got blue chip doing their marketing for some of those accounts, but there are other ones that are still crushing it that have really good marketing as well. And I think that's like the biggest difference between the ones that are doing really well with Charlie and the ones that are struggling. Like, the ones that are doing really well, they have the ability to generate leads on demand, right? And because their marketing is very good, their offer is sexy and clear, right? And they're in a high, it's like a high, like emotional, volatile market, right? Well, like fitness is emotionally volatile. And then the other ones that are crushing it are the ones that have B2B offers that have very good marketing and targeting, and it's an emotional type offer as well, right? Whereas, like, hey, like, why do you want to make more money? It's because I want to take care of my kids. I want to be more present with my family and things like that. I'm just seeing this trend, right? Where, like, if you don't have a clear offer, right? And the offer isn't sexy, it's not unique, it's not clear, and it's not targeting and solving like a problem that's high pain, you're gonna have a hard time generating leads, right? Like, we have some people that are doing great with Charlie, they're doing great in their business organically, but they're struggling to generate leads with paid ads, like struggling. And for me, I'm like, I almost want to just be like, man, like, the way, like, your offer just sucks, right? From a marketing perspective, nobody's interested in it because people try to approach ads as if it's organic, right? Like, organically, you can make money organically because people, like, are buying from you, right? They may not know you, and you send a connection request, or they start following you on Instagram, or you add them as a friend on Facebook, and they don't know you. Or maybe you're in a Facebook group with them and you're posting value and giving to the community. So they're buying from you, not because your offer is clear. And this is where people make a mistake, right? They think they're making money organically because their offer is clear. It's like, no, you're making money organically because you're pumping out a bunch of content and people are getting to know you, right? And you don't have a KPI for how long they've been following you before the buy. You just periodically, you get somebody who's kind of reach what I call like the 3 level of trust threshold, right? So the first level, they got to have trust in you, your expertise. Second level is trust in your brand or company. And the third level is trust in your methodology, right? Or your system, right? And you need, in order for somebody to take that step to engage in making a purchasing decision and completing a checkout or booking a call or submitting an application, they need to be at a minimum like 5 to 6 out of all 3 for them to do that. And then for them to actually show up, they need to be at like a 7 to 8, right? And then for them to actually buy, you need to get them to a 9 or 10, right? On all 3 levels. So, and this is why like sales calls, like a book a call funnel has been so effective, because if you can get someone to like a 5 out of 10 on all 3 levels and they show up to a call, a skilled salesperson can get them to a 10 out of 10, assuming the offer is good, right? Assuming the offer is good and it's clear and they have a really good pitch, they can get them to a 10 out of 10 and get them to buy, right? The higher level of trust you can engineer before that first conversation with a sales rep, right? The easier that sell is going to be, the less skilled the salesperson needs to be. All right. But that needs to be happening as soon as they see your ad. If you're going cold traffic, right? You have a split second to get somebody interested.
Yeah. And everybody could say like, well, like, why did the fitness accounts or this work? And it's all the same thing. They're just losing weight. Well, the messaging that comes across it might look different to the cold prospect, the cold lead, right? You can put a little spin on whatever that methodology is. You have to come up with a unique name. It doesn't matter. It could be the V4 method. Everybody's gonna be like, what the hell is V4 method? Like they're curious. Then they'll be like, all right, well, let me just opt in and see what the hell this is about. Right. So you're getting curious. They're like, what is this? I want to know what this is. Now I'm like, I got something, I want to see what this is, because the methodology or how you wrote it or how the messaging came across, they're curious about it. Right. So they want to know what this is.
And it's a growing market. Like you have people huge. Growing. Like America is is the unhealthiest it's ever been in the history of the country. Right. So, and you have people not only aging into the market, but like gaining weight into the market. So it's just like growing on a mass scale, and there's just not enough professionals who are good at what they do to service the demand that's already there. Right.
Exactly. So not only does that messaging have to like open the people's eyes, like, oh, okay, wonder what this is. But then the second thing has to be the front person that is delivering whatever that is. Who's the face of it? Because we've seen great messaging and then boom, it just falls flat. And you're like, what the F? Like, why doesn't anybody take ever action? And then we dig deeper and we look at the person that's the front of the face and we're like,
it's just not an attractive character. Like
it's like, my guy, like
the truth of the matter is, right. And people, not many people are going to like this, but sex sells, right? So you need to have an attractive character to the avatar that you're targeting. And it doesn't mean the person needs to be like a good looking person. They don't need to be like a Greek god, right? But they need to be an attractive character to the people that you're trying to sell to, meaning that they can speak their language. They know what they're talking about, and they're able to communicate effectively to present the value proposition, right? And if you can't do that, you're going to struggle getting strangers to even be interested in your offer, right? Because you need to be able to communicate in a way that captures their attention, communicates a value, and then also builds credibility that know, like, and trust, and to get them to take that next step, which is why like video ads crush images if you can nail it, if you can do it, if you've got the person that can do the videos, right? They'll crush it.
I've seen accounts where the person doesn't look right on video, and I'm like, hey, like, let's just work on images. You have a great body, and hopefully we'll get enough to, get them in. Then hopefully the training will do whatever that is on the BSO, whatever it is. But if they're like filming, like, man, you just look weird. Like, it doesn't, maybe some more practice, but we've seen, back in our other days is we've seen like, man, you have a great offer, a great brand, great everything, but you need to get the hell out of the front of the face, bro. Like, stop. Like, no, I don't know how much you practice or whatever, but it's not working.
It's like you're a crusty middle-aged man trying to target like moms. You know what I mean? Is like you're not appealing to them at all, right? So either for me, and I mean, we're just gonna be honest, guys. Like here, we're just gonna give you the brutal, unfiltered truth. When I was in fitness, right, I knew I can target whatever avatar that I want, right, with a fitness offer, right? I can target middle-aged Caucasian women. And I would do this not because I can relate to them, but because it found me attractive. And I know for a fact, I was like, I know like this is a market I can target, not because I can relate to them, right? I'm not going to be able to talk their language in that way, but because I know they're going to stop scrolling and listen to what I have to say. And they're going to be willing to work with me to go through my program because they want proximity with me, right? You'd be naive to be completely like, to not use that to your advantage. All right. So just proximity. They didn't get to work with me one-on-one, but they got to go through my program, watch my videos, and they got great results. But you have to be able to identify and realistically sit down and be like, well, who am I targeting? Who am I trying to appeal to? And am I the person for the job? Do I speak their language? Am I an attractive character to this ICP? All right. And if the answer is no, you got to answer like the question objectively. The answer is no. You are doing yourself a disservice trying to be the face. All right. Find somebody who could be the ambassador for your offer and do some type of like JV arrangement with them where they get commissions for creating content that you can use in your ads. All right. Or find an actor to be the face. All right. But you need an attractive character if you're going to sustainably acquire clients with cold traffic. That's just the reality of it. All right. So those of you guys who are listening, if you're like, yeah, I'm not like a good looking guy or a gal, like it does not matter. Like I'm trying to painfully communicate that is not how physically attractive you are, is how much does your ICP actually resonate with who you are as a core, how you communicate and what you have to offer. Right. If you're struggling with that, you got to be willing to change that.
I would say some core traits, if you're looking at yourself and seeing if you're the attractive person, the ones that I've seen do great, they're high energy. It's almost like, man, I wish I was like hanging out with that guy. I bet you that'd be a cool dude to hang out with. Right. So are you a cool person? Just like, man, I wish I could have a beer with that guy. You know what I mean? That guy's cool as hell. Right. So very charismatic, high energy. And just like, you can tell he's like full of fun, right? Now, is there other people where it's like very doctorish and like, yeah, and this, yes, there's some like that. Maybe the older people that I've seen really relate to that.
Yeah, but even those people struggle to get cold traffic working for them because it's just not, you got to be able to capture people's attention. And really, to some degree, you got to be a people person. Right? Unless you're targeting super intellectual people like your offer, if you're targeting engineers, right? Then you could put my face on an engineering offer, maybe, but I probably annoy them, right? Because I'm not an engineer. So, but
yeah, those are the core traits.
You got to think through that and look at it objectively, right? Because I'm seeing too many people struggle with generating leads, and then I go through their stuff and I'm just like, dude, this is a bunch of garbage. Like, it's just not good.
Yeah, and we have an account like that. I'm not gonna say who it is or anything like that that uses Charlie, and the guy is a great guy. Like I've onboarded him, multiple calls with him. He's a great dude. You know what I mean? He's just awkward a little bit. You know what I mean? And then his offer is not very sexy. Even I think, if I thought the offer is still kind of like, oh, this is a pretty good offer, I still don't think it would get the most out of it because he's the face and he just doesn't bring he's too professional. He's too like in the box. It almost feels like, but I'm not his business coach. I could probably tell him a couple of things. You're not part of Blue Chip. You're not a business coach. You do have a mentorship. They should be probably telling you something like this already. You know what I mean?
But not everyone does. But the thing about it is, like, even mentors, when we were the first, when we were doing mentorships, I was the first person to look at dude in his face and tell him he was awful on camera. And the dude cried, right? I was like, dude, I'm sorry to hurt your feelings, bro. But like, if you're the face of this business, you're not going to make any money. So do you want to make money or do you want to, stroke your ego? Right. And he was very grateful, right? He ended up hiring an actor, having an actor do their marketing and be the face of his brand. And he made a 7-figure business overnight virtually, right? Struggled for weeks and for months to do it. And I just had to be like, you know what? We got to rip the Band-Aid off. Like, I'm just going to give it to you straight. You suck on camera. You're not attractive to your ICP. And if I'm just going to be blunt with you, like, dude, like, I see your face talking on a video and I'm scrolling right through that bitch. Like, I'm sorry. I cannot do it. Right. Because he was really complaining. I was just like, dude, can I just be honest with you? Right. And he was like, yeah. And then I was like, all right, permission to go in. Like, I'm just going in. Right. And that was a conversation that sparked us actually doing those brand audits and having conversations with people about the fact that, hey, dude, your brand sucks. Or, hey, dude, like, you're just not good on camera. Right. So either you put in the work to get good on camera and get good at communicating, or you hire somebody who can do it, or you partner with somebody who can do that for you. Right.
That is true. We did do the brand audits after that. Like, we had a brand audit for every person that came in and we told them straight, like, hey man, this is a brand audit. Now, look, I'm going to go through everything. I'm going to go through you. I'm going to go through your brand. I'm going to go through your messaging, how it's presented to cold traffic, right? This ain't organic, my man. So if it looks like shit and it's organic, it could probably more than likely work because they're going for you. Yeah. They're not going for the quote unquote brand. They're going for you. That's what they've been following for weeks, months, whatever it is, right? So everything needs to look good, right? I'm not talking about every little color or whatever. It just needs to look presentable, right? So when we did those brand audits, we're like, hey man, we're going to be completely honest here. No hard feelings. I noticed that this was your personality trait because we used to do animal personality traits. This is your personality trait. We're all good, right? Yeah. Cool. Then we just gave it to them straight. What? 200 accounts.
That's really what's missing is, and I think we might need to start doing that. I don't even know if it's, if somebody's struggling with their marketing on Charlie, we probably need to start offering people brand audits to just be able to just give it to them straight. Right. And if you're listening and you're interested in a brand audit, like you want us to go through your brand from like a cold traffic perspective, it might be a fun episode to actually like do one of those things live and just share our thoughts live as we're going through that, because it makes a big difference. Right. I'm not a branding specialist or anything like that, but I know how to communicate in a way to get strangers to buy shit on the internet. And they don't know me, and I know how to build that know, like, and trust in a very short period of time if I'm getting in front of the right person. Right. So, and you have to be able to kind of understand the psychology of how you need to position yourself in the marketplace if you want to attract the right people and get them to actually go through your stuff and purchase. All right. And branding, really, it comes down to that, but it's not like building a personal brand. It's just, how do you position yourself in a unique way and present your offer in a way that they've never heard before, and build the credibility that's going to get them to actually believe that you can deliver on what you say you're going to deliver on in a way that they can understand, relate to, and actually follow through on. All right. And I just see too many people messing that up.
Yeah, and people will be like, "Oh, I need to hire this videographer to make my VSL so like polished." I'm like, It starts with you, right? And then the messaging, because we have a blue chip client. He had his record breaking month with his VSL this month, right? Over 100K collected, and they're like smashed it. But 2 months ago, he was struggling. But we were trying to figure out what worked in the marketplace for him, right? Because everything was always done by IG DMs, and it was just right. Anyways, his stuff looks good, right? I'm gonna be biased because we fucking built the funnel, but it looks good, right? The key's presentable. He's a good-looking white dude, younger dude, but he has a little bit of professionalism still in him because he came from the corporate world, right? He was a financial advisor. So he has a little bit of that, but he's still very personable, and he's still like he's a very charismatic guy. All that stuff, right?
Sell.
And he can sell. Like this homeboy, you get him on a call, homeboy's selling. Okay, so he's a very good. But if you look at his video, the quality of video, I had never told. I don't think I ever told him it sucks. It was like, dude, like make it more like nicer. But polish it up. But the fact that the language and the stuff he's speaking to in the video really relates to the women that he wants, right? Even in his video, even all of his retargeting that we set up to warm he's talking almost like as if he's a woman himself, because he's been on so many calls. He takes those calls.
He understands. He's able to speak their language in a way that they understand, and that makes him relatable. So in that way, he is an attractive character to his ICP, and they want proximity with him, despite the fact that his video could definitely use,
you see lines coming through and shit, and like
some cleaning up.
It's working,
but that just lets you know, like, it's not about how professional everything is top to bottom. It's really about, like, are you an attractive character to your ICP? All right. Are they able to relate with you? Do they understand? Do they feel like you understand them at a high level? And do you have an offer that's actually appealing to them? Right. If they can relate to you, they feel like you understand them, and your offer sucks, like, you're not going to make any money. Right. If you have a great offer, but your ICP can't relate to you and they don't find you attractive, and they don't understand you, you're not going to make any money. But there are very rare instances where the offer is so damn good, you could be the wrong person for it and you still make money, but that's only going to last you for so long. Like, the colder and colder and the more sophisticated of a market you start to go after, like, it's not going to cut it. All right. So you need all of those, and it requires just like it's like a ladder, right? You need all the different pieces in place to properly climb up the ladder, or even to properly cross a bridge. All right. And it takes time to build those things. So
yeah, that's the next thing, before we wrap up and stuff, is if you're trying to go into the cold market, right? Dude, you gotta be patient. Like you're gonna lose money in the beginning. I'll tell you straight, you might get a couple of deals here and there to, try to hopefully break even, but fuck, you're gonna lose money. We have an internal brand that we're working on right now. We've lost money, right? It's all good. Every little thing we're reiterating. We're trying to see what works. But
sometimes it takes like
months.
6. I mean, I know a guy, it took him like 12 months to crack the code on like Facebook ads, and he just kept going at it, kept going at it. But it's one of those things where you need to be bringing in enough money outside of cold traffic that you can afford to invest a consistent amount into it. Like, minimum $2,000 to $3,000 a month that you're able to just consistently spend on ads, iterating, figuring out what works. And you got to actually, like, it's got to be something that you're paying attention to, creating content, looking at headlines, and doing research on other people who've kind of cracked the code and figuring it out, modeling what they're doing and adapting it to you in a way that makes sense. And then also it's one of those things where I don't care what anybody says. Like, you're not going to figure it out on your own. You're just not going to. Like, you need guidance from people who've already cracked the code. Right. Like, so, you need guidance from that. Like, you need feedback. Ads on like anything else, like you need consistent feedback. You need another set of eyes looking at your numbers and just telling you what to tweak and iterate and what to adjust. So
I agree. I would say some, and then before that is some prerequisites. One, are you willing to go all in? Or else you're just going to waste money for spending 2 months and you probably could have spent that money somewhere else or put it somewhere else, right? Be willing to go all in. Be fucking patient, right? Have another source of income. Either that is, if you have let's say you have a fitness business and you have like, you want to do the whole VSO funnel and you want to go over there, but make sure you're getting money from like your organic IGDM route or whatever the case is. So you have money, or you have another job that's helping you bring in that money while this hopefully finally takes off, and etc. One is having someone in your corner that either done it, has access to a lot of stuff, like that internal brand I was talking about earlier. I go to you, right? You could be like, well, why don't you just talk to yourself, dude? I don't know what it is. It's hard to do it yourself when it's your own thing. It's like, yo, what do you see here? Like, what am I missing? It's hard to build something, even though you help so many other companies build it. It comes like natural to do it.
Difference, like one of those things, like why do professional athletes still have coaches? Because you cannot do it on your own. You need a second set of eyes because they can see things that you don't see. Right. And you work with like a mentor or a coach or a consultant, not because they give you the answers, but because they give you a change of perspective. That's really what a coach or any type of mentor or any type of advisor is able to do, is they just give you a way of seeing it from a different angle. And that perception gives you that light bulb, like, oh, got it. I know exactly what I need to do now.
Perfect example is the last iteration we did. You looked at it, you're like talking to me about it, and you're like, this is why we should probably cut this shit. Like, cut it, flip it, do a different angle. And that same day, I cut everything, rewrote the offer, rewrote the language on the pages, and then running this. I would have let it run out for another week or two, and I think the numbers might switch, right? I wouldn't have made that sudden switch if it weren't for you saying, hey, this is why I think you need to do it. And you gave me a whole spiel and everything, like, damn, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think of it that way. Got it. I'll go make the adjustments. Right.
Yeah, you make progress so much faster. Like, I have people now that help me iterate on everything within the business, So it's just the ones at the top there, they have people in their corners that still advise them. I know like Jeff Bezos is phenomenal entrepreneur, but he still has advisors and mentors, and all the guys that are doing exceptional things that I admire, they're not so, their egos aren't so big that they're like, no, I'll figure it out on my own. That's just not how the world works. Right.
Mm-hmm. So as long as you have those prerequisites and really look in the face, like, hey, can I be the face? Do I hit these core traits? Right. Instead of you wasting time because you want to boost your ego because you're the face and I'm in the front of the camera. What? Just really look yourself in the mirror on all this. So are you willing to sacrifice the pain to go through it? Because you're going to lose money. I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to lose money. You're going to get headaches. You're going to deal with a lot of shit. It's part of the game. You're not going to fucking crack it in a month, maybe 2, maybe. You might have some outliers out there, but it's going to take you 3, 4, 5, 6 months possibly to finally crack it. Are you the face?
Yeah. And the worst thing that can happen is you get lucky, right? The worst thing that can happen is you get lucky. And the reason why getting lucky is terrifying is you're not able to recreate it. If you don't take time to actually like learn and have a few licks and you like tweak and iterate, then you're not building any skill, right? So you got to get under the bar and you got to actually put in the reps, right? Move the weight, tweak the thing and like actually learn it. And the ones that get lucky and like they're at the mercy of the market, right? They're at the mercy of the market.
Yeah. And just to reiterate that, like this one we have in house, you would think looking from the outside in, oh, dude, they're going to crack that shit first month. That thing's going to be pumping because they have all these other brands that they've been killing it for. As you can see, it's not happening quite yet.
You gotta,
it takes time.
The reason why it takes time when you're building a new brand is you're having to gather data from scratch, and you're having to train the pixels and the algorithm on who you want for that offer, right? And the beautiful thing about it is like the principles are still applicable, but you still have to gather the data, and it takes time to get those things in place. And then once those things are in place, like it happens really, really fast. That's the awesome thing about ads is like once you hit the critical mass, then things are off to the races. But we're actually up on time, but I think it was something worth sharing because I was just seeing too many people struggle and kind of like using Charlie prematurely because they're doing well organically and they're trying to figure out ads. Like take the time to figure out the ads, have conversation with your leads, right? Like people try to come in and start using Charlie before they really have figured out what their leads want or what's getting the right people to come in, right? You got to have conversations with your leads, like trying to automate the entire thing early. You're doing yourself a disservice, right? Talk to people, respond to them in the DMs, call them, right? Take their sales calls, like have conversations with your leads so you can gather enough data to figure out, okay, well, the leads that are coming from this channel for whatever reason, like they're like, this hook is what is appealing to them and they're not a good fit. I'm going to shut that down. Ooh, like I talked to someone and they came from this ad and they said, this is what got their attention. Ooh, let me see if I can double down on that. Oh yeah, I'm getting more people coming from that hook and yeah, they're like perfect fit. Let me continue doing more of that. Those micro iterations come from real conversations with real human beings, right? And understanding like those leads aren't just numbers. They're real people, right? And then once you know what the conversation needs to look like to get that type of person on the phone or book a call with you so you can have a sales conversation with them, that's where you can start to automate with Charlie. Right now, Charlie can have those conversations for you. Charlie isn't going to iterate on those conversations for you. It's going to have those conversations for you, right? But you have to do the iterations to get it tight, and then you can automate it and then come in when they're ready to talk and have a sales conversation, right?
Exactly.
Enough of we'll get down from our soapbox. Hopefully you guys found that helpful. If you want us to do an audit live, like just comment audit on our posts and let us know, and we're happy to look at your brand and rip it apart. And I'll just be honest with you. If you comment for an audit, like we will be brutally honest, and I'm not going to hold anything back. Like I thoroughly enjoy giving it to people straight, and I love when people give it to me straight. So I will have fun ripping it apart, respectfully telling you how it sucks and what you can do better. But we're not just going to leave you low. We're going to rip it apart and then help you, tell you like specifically, these are the tactical things you can change and why you need to make those changes to get the outcomes that you want. Right. So comment audit below if you're interested in that, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.